Following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the TF Geek. We are on the home stretch in this multi-part review of the Transformers Generation Select Seacons, who combine to form the Decepticon Combiner Piranacon, and we are going to look at the sixth and final team member of Piranacon, and it is this guy right here, Decepticon Overbite. So yes, all of the Seacons we've looked at so far have interesting beast modes. Snaptrap the Turtle, Scalar, the Coelacanth, I just lost their names for a moment there. Nautilator, who is a lobster, Sea-Wing, who's a manta ray, and of course Tentakill, who is a squid. So, was there any doubt out that a Decepticon team, even called the Seacons, that one of their members wouldn't have some type of a shark arc for an alt mode? Of course not. Sharks are among the top predators in the oceans. They've been around. According to science, sharks started to appear and evolve 300 million years ago, so they have one of the oldest lineages of most creatures on planet Earth. So, there's no doubt about it that the Seacons would have one member that has a shark for a beast mode. So yes, this is Overbite. Just like the previous Seacon that we looked at, which was Tentakill, Overbite was released in the third and final wave of the Generation Select Seacons, and as a result of that, just like Tentakill, Overbite is the rarest and most hard to find of the Seacons. And this is why the Seacons have the Target Master gimmick here. Takara Tomy decided to make Piranacon a Target Master as well by having 5 deluxe class S figures in the Seacons team, giving 6 members overall. And Overbite here officially transforms into the Target Master weapon for Piranacon. Overall he is a pretty menacing looking shark, similar to the figure that he's retooled from, which is Power the Primes Rippersnapper. Overbite transforms into a mechanical shark mutant. Instead of having flippers, he instead has arms and legs on him. But unlike Rippersnapper, who's designed to be a bipedal shark standing upright and looking upward, from the photos I've seen and from the joints in the legs of his shark mode, and the way he's and the fact that he doesn't have any joints in his beast mode head. Overbite is supposed to be, unlike Power the Primes Rippersnapper, who's a bipedal shark mutant. Overbite here is a quadriplegic, or if I use that word correctly, a quadriplegic shark mutant, where he walks on, in addition to his back legs, he also walks on his arms. So he's a 4-legged shark mutant that's designed to be parallel with the surface ground that he walks on, or if you want him to swim through the water, you can have the legs positioned like this in the back, so he has 4 paddle-like flippers, just like prehistoric sea reptiles did. But yeah, overall I do enjoy Overbite's design, and because he's a quadriplegic shark mutant instead of or am I using that, or is it a quadruped? I can't remember. But yeah, as far as I can tell, but in addition to walking on these arms, he's also able to use them as actual arms. So I remember from a science class I took in college, a creature that's capable of walking on all 4 limbs, but then they're capable of standing on their back limbs and using their front limbs as arms. An animal with that type of locomotion skills is known as a facultative quadruped. It's an animal that is capable of walking on with 4 limbs, that's capable of walking on all 4 of them, but then they're able to stand up on their back limbs and use their front limbs as arms. So yeah, that's what Overbite is, and anatomically, it is enough of a distinction to further distinguish him from Rippersnapper. But yes, just like the other Seacons, he has an open mouth gimmick, and I love how Takara Tomy painted the inside of the mouth red. He's got his teeth painted silver. He's got yellow eyeballs, and I just love that yellow on the turquoise background. It's really menacing looking. Unlike the other Seacons, On's Overbite does not have a Decepticon logo on the top middle of his head. He instead has it here on his. He has one on both sides of his dorsal fin, and I just realized I forgot to show off in my review of Tentakill where his Decepticon logo is. It's right there on his robot mode chest, which is also the chest of his squid mode. It just ends up upside down. But yeah, I do enjoy how Overbite looked. I took the combiner hand off of him, so let's remove his other weapons. Here's his sword weapon, which becomes a part of Piranacon's trident, and then here is Overbite's laser gun. It's much longer than the other deluxe class Seacons, and that's because officially Overbite transforms into Piranacon's target master. But yeah, get some decent amount of articulation in his legs. The shark tail can of course go up and down as well. Also, if you wanted to do a stop motion video, you could make it look like Overbite is swimming through the water if you desire. But yeah, overall, some of the articulation is limited due to the fact that the back legs, there's just two joints. There's the ball joint in the hip and a swivel joint in the ankle, and then same thing with the arms. But because Overbite's feet are so massive, you can't really get him into too many positions, and of course there's no articulated joint in his shark head. So there aren't too many positions where you can get Overbite displayed in a position where he's staring at his opponents, is what I was trying to say. But overall, I do enjoy the paint apps and the different colors used on him. And yes, I do believe that Overbite is a very menacing looking shark. Alright, so without further delay, we will get him transformed into his robot mode and see what he looks like there. One last thing to note is that he has 6 5mm ports on the bottom of his 2 feet, and then he's got one on the bottom of his mouth. So just like the other Seacons, Overbite does have a lot of places for weapons to be attached. He's also got 2 5mm ports here on the front, on the top of his back, just in front of the dorsal fin. But yeah, you do not want to mess around with Overbite when he's swimming in the water. Alright, and so here is Overbite in his robot mode. And even though I already said it with not in the review so far, because he's a retool of Power the Primes Rippersnapper, if you have that figure, there's nothing too much as far as the joints go with Overbite. His retooled parts don't affect his transformation. It's virtually identical to Rippersnapper. Right down to the shark legs just dangling off the sides of the robot mode shins. All you have to do to transform the hands from beast mode to robot mode is just rotate them 90 degrees. But overall, the retooling that Overbite has does make him a distinct character and figure. Sorry for bumping my camera like that. There's a close-up of Overbite's head sculpt. The shark head just dangles off the back of him. And yes, overall, I just really enjoy how he came out, and I'm realizing I actually put his laser gun inside his hand upside down. And so, there it is in the correct orientation. I believe you're supposed to have it facing the opposite direction when you transform Overbite into his target master mode. But overall, I do enjoy how Overbite turned out. I'm realizing that his pegs that are supposed to lock his robot knees didn't plug in properly. But yeah, that is Overbite is a really menacing looking shark. So out of all of the molds that the Seacons are retooled from, the Power of the Primes Rippersnapper mold is the one that was the most commonly used, since Overbite and also Scalar and Nautilator are retools of the Power of the Primes Rippersnapper mold. But it is quite a diverse retool, quite a heavy retooling. It's not a straight up repaint of each other. If there's one gripe I have with Overbite, I kind of wish that Takara Tomy would have at least given him new robot mode hands so he wouldn't have the same claws that Rippersnapper does. But that's just a minor gripe that I have, minor nitpick that I have with the figure. But I do enjoy the purple and turquoise and pink paint job that's used here on Overbite. So without further delay, let's display him and take a look at him in his 3 combined modes. Alright, so here is Overbite transformed into an arm. Pretty same articulation as the other Seacons in arm mode. But one nice thing is that the arms can wrap around the top here and make the shoulder look less kibbly. And then one option that you have is you can put the laser gun here on the top of the shoulder here, and you can have Piranacon have a shoulder cannon as well. But yes, really impressive arm mode here for Overbite. And then of course to transform him from a right side arm to a left side arm, you rotate around at the robot mode waist to get the lower arm pointed around, and then flip and rotate the thumb to the opposite side, and now he is a left arm. So yeah, transforming from arm mode to arm mode is pretty easy for Overbite. And next up we will take a look at him in leg mode. Alright, and so here is Overbite as a leg. This is actually a left side leg, and yes, it's pretty nice looking. The shark head acts as a kneecap for Piranacon. On it, yes. I'm sorry I'm failing to have words to describe how incredibly this is, because I do think it is incredible looking, but for some reason my mouth isn't working as fast as my mind is, so I apologize for that. But yeah, Overbite is a pretty impressive looking leg. And then of course the only difference between the right side and left side leg is where you have the thumb positioned as a side heel. So yeah, there's right side leg mode. As I almost drop Overbite, he's angry with me that I'm not finding more impressive words to describe how incredible looking he is. But yeah, I do think that even if you do have the other 5 Seacons in your collection, I do believe Overbite is worth adding to your collection as well. And then to get Overbite transformed from leg mode to target master mode is a pretty simple transformation. I'm trying to look at a product photo right now to see if I'm doing it correctly, and I believe I am. Let's see, is that it? Let's see, rotate those that way. Okay, yes, got it. Alright, and so bend the peg down like that. Make sure everything is lined up properly. There's a couple of 3mm pegs that are supposed to combine on here, but for some reason the way the feet are shaped, it prevents it from going into place properly. And then of course you take the Overbite's laser gun, plug it here onto the peg that the fist was in for arm mode. Make sure everything's lined up properly. Alright, and there is Overbite in target master mode. Pretty impressive looking laser gun. It's definitely a giant sized one. And yeah, overall that is the official mode Overbite's supposed to be in for Piranacon. So you just attach it to the combiner fist, and you can have Piranacon use an entire deluxe class Transformers figure blasting away at his opponents. So thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been the TFN Geek. This has been my review of the Transformers Generation Selects Decepticon Seacon Overbite. I do recommend you get this figure if you can, and especially due to how rare and hard to find he is. Stay tuned for the final part of art of Piranacon, in which we take a look at the combined mode of the Seacon. And so thank you guys all for your continued support. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until next time, you guys, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.